Welcome everyone to the Side Draft Podcast, and welcome to our review of the Coca Cola 600. Very long race. I know this is like 2 days late, and that you've already watched everyone else's reviews, but trying to get back on track from a very rough week. So here's our very short review. I would say we're not going to go into the exact stage by stage like normal, because we were actually at this race, so we can give a little bit more detail in terms of where everyone finished.
Okay.
So
yes, we want to thank for all the. This is for Memorial Day weekend. We just want to thank for all the ones that served, and thank for all the military and all that.
Yeah, that's why you see an American flag behind us. Normally we do this because Brad Keselowski won the race, but since it was Memorial Day weekend, we brought the flag out for all of you.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good tribute to the Memorial Day weekend. At the end of stage 2, and when they just a moment of silence, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really awesome. I don't know what exactly they showed during the actual broadcast, but it was just such a beautiful moment because everyone went silent.
Yeah, it was. I mean, everybody on pit road, everybody in the stands is quiet and just a ton of respect.
And then we had a big USA chant. It was the most American thing you could ever see. So it was really awesome. I hope we get to see it in more Coca Cola 600s.
Yeah, thank you NASCAR for doing it.
All right, so let's go through the field and talk about where everyone finished. First off is the people who didn't do too well. First off, finishing in last place is Eric Jones, who started 16th. Had some sort of a tire issue.
Yeah, Charlotte hadn't been very good for him. I know in the All-Star, he was knocking the walls down.
Yeah.
And that's why it kind of ended up. He got a tire ran down and he got in the wall, and it's pretty much the end of his day.
Yeah, just not the 2 weeks that he wanted. But fortunately for him, if you're going to run in a 600-mile race, and if you're going to crash, the very first of it is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, crash out in the first stage.
Go home and get a beer or water or something, and just watch the rest of the race.
Yeah, I thought that the first stage, it was like extremely long. I mean, it's like,
everyone was crashing. It was really weird.
Yeah.
We had Matt DiBenedetto, who had a tire issue. He would finish 39th. Something about the Toyotas just was not set up for the daytime. But towards the night, they were pretty good with the tires.
Yeah.
Next notable crash was Austin Dillon, Kyle Larson. They got in that big crash. I believe it was in stage 3 or 4.
Yeah.
So Kyle Larson won the All-Star race, just did not do too well in the 600. And the 600 is the race that actually matters. All-Star race is just for the money. So not the race that he wanted, but was pretty decent.
Yeah, it was pretty warm, pretty hot at night. Long race, so I bet it's pretty tough on his drivers out there.
And then Austin Dillon, he started 4th, had a fairly decent race. He was up in the top 10 almost all day, just up until that unfortunate crash for him. They would finish 34th and 33rd. Then finishing 27th would be Kurt Busch, who got in that crash with his brother Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch did not have too much damage on him, so Kyle was able to continue. Kurt was able to continue too, but just not as fast.
It's kind of weird. Every time Kyle Busch has some bad luck or something, he gets damaged, everybody cheers.
Yeah.
So funny.
It's the funnest thing at the racetrack. It's just like if you go to a race and Kyle Busch doesn't have some sort of an issue, it's not fun because
yeah, everybody knows that Kyle Busch is really good at Charlotte. It's one of his best tracks, and he led some laps, and in the years past he's dominated a few times, and so everybody just likes when he has trouble. So it's funny. When Kurt Busch spun, it just took the whole side right there, and I believe on his radio or something, Kyle's like, "Is the corner panel still there?" Yeah.
Then he said, "God bless America." So, that was very funny. Then we have Clint Boyer, who finished 24th. Got in that one crash. Very unfortunate of him. Ty Dillon also involved in that crash. 21st was Daniel Hemrick, who I thought was going to be very, very fast that day, but he unfortunately had some tire issues early on and just couldn't ever rebound from that.
I believe Daniel Hemrick, I thought he was cleared on turn 4 and kind of clipped Clint Boyer, and it kind of messed up both their days. Because Daniel, he was running very well. He stayed in the top 10. He's really good, had a good run. Like he had some strength and doing good. And then once he made contact with Clinton Boyer, his day kind of went down from there.
And then the next notable driver would be 19th, Brad Keselowski. He would be in the dominant car, I thought, at least in the daytime. I won both stages in the daytime, stage 1 and stage 2, and then after that, once it got into the night, he got shuffled back into the pack because of a loose wheel, and just couldn't get his way back up there.
Yeah, I thought he was just going to just go off and run away with it. He had a extremely fast car. I don't think anybody can really handle him in the daytime. He's just super fast and come through the field and led some laps and won the stages. And I was like, all right, it might be a good night for the American flag. So, but once it got cooled off, I don't know what happened to his car, if he got loose, tight, or what it was. It just couldn't make any gains now.
Next up would be Daniel Suarez, who finished 18th. Just did not show too much speed for whatever reason. He's going to really need to get some great finishes in the next few races, because I feel like this is a great year for him, great opportunity to really prove himself and his worth, and we could see the type of driver he is. He's had some good finishes. I just would like to see more of those.
Yeah, I'd like to get more consistent finishes. We know they got good power. They got good handling cars. It's just a matter of getting that team together and be more consistent.
Next up is Denny Hamlin in 17th. Just he had a night like Eric Jones in the All-Star race, just knocking the wall down just about every couple hundred laps, especially at the very end, just limping it to the finish line. Just was not a great day for Denny Hamlin, which is unfortunate because he showed some great strength at the beginning of the year, winning the Daytona 500 plus Texas. So I thought at the beginning of the year he had championship speed. I thought this was going to be Denny Hamlin's year, but he just hasn't been showing that lately.
Yeah, and he led some laps. Thought he was going to have a good finish, but I ain't sure what happened, tire issues or what. Just got in the wall and kind of messed up his day.
The next notable finish, in my opinion, was Ryan Blaney at 13th. I thought he had some good race-winning speed. Just had some, I believe it was a loose wheel or something broke in the car. Had to go to pit lane, and that was when Brad Keselowski spun out on the pit road. So if Blaney would have just waited out just a little bit longer, he wouldn't have been 13th.
Yeah, he really showed some strength. He's running top 3 towards the end. Made some good moves. I mean, he led a few laps, and I thought, man, it might be his day. But at the end, with him and Joey, they just couldn't run down Martin Truex, and I believe we had a little bit of short run speed. He was real fast to begin on, but he started through the run, he'd kind of slide back a little bit, but definitely, moving in a good direction.
The next up would be Corey LaJoie, finishing 12th. I believe that's his best ever finish, so that's a really awesome day for Corey. I noticed he had some great speed battling drivers like Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick for positions, and he was actually holding his own out there. So
Yeah.
it was really awesome to see.
Yeah, it's really good from that team to finish well. And it's always good, something to build on and give more confidence to that team. And I'd like to see more of that.
And next up is Eric Almirola in 11th. He just did not show race-winning speed at all. Thought maybe once it got to the nighttime he would just, come alive, but the car it was decent all day.
Yeah, it just maintained pretty much.
The next up is Kevin Harvick in 10th, who had a very strong car at the beginning. He was battling for the lead almost every restart. But once it got to nighttime, they had some issues with the splitter. I believe it was just digging into the ground on those through the curves.
Yeah.
Just not a great night for him.
And plus, it didn't help when they pit under green and the caution comes out, and they got to take the wave around, so it puts him back further in the field. It was a real tough battle just to get back up to 10th.
Yeah, but it was a great day, or not necessarily a great day, but great finish for a car. Probably should have been further back with the way it was handling. It got really tight towards the end, but fought hard all day, and we got a blooming onion out of it.
All right.
And then William Byron finishing 9th, Jimmy Johnson finishing 8th, Alex Bowman finishing 7th, and then Chase Elliott in 4th.
So all
Hendricks in the top 10.
Yeah, I think William Byron here really showed a lot of strength in the first stage. I mean, I didn't know how well he would do leading on, but I believe the clean air really helped his car, and I don't believe anybody can really catch him at the beginning. But he was really showing some dominance in the beginning.
Then Jimmy kind of maintained top 10 all day. Fought really hard. Alex Bowman, I thought we'd see a little bit more out of him, but still get a good strong top 10. At least it's not second, so that's I wouldn't say it a win, but it's not second.
Yeah.
But Chase Elliott, he was poised to win the race. Got into Martin Truex Jr. a little bit there, and just did not have the pit stops that he needed to get the win. But good strong day for Chase Elliott.
Yeah, Chase, I believe he was just kind of maintaining that clean air and trying to take the air away from Mark Truex, but I believe Mark Truex just had a little better car than what Chase had.
And Chris Buescher finishing 6th. Finally, he got to keep the finish that he deserved. Hopefully now that he can build on that, get some momentum, maybe even get some few wins here and there.
Yeah, he's working way up to the top there. He just keeps performing each week, and I believe he's one of the biggest surprises of this year, because they run well. Like sometimes they run some difficulties towards the end of the race, but it's a good finish.
And then Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finishing 5th, his first ever top 5 at a track that is a mile and a half. So very, very good for him. Showed some speed, got into Kyle Busch, or Kyle Busch got into him. He spun and rebounded to finish in the top 5.
Yeah, at one point I thought he was going to try to get to Kyle's bumper and kind of push him a little bit, but I don't know if he just missed or got loose.
Yeah, I think he missed. I think he was really upset with Kyle. I mean, who wouldn't be? Someone turns you like that. But unfortunately for him and for those Kyle Busch haters and the fans, he did not get to him. But maybe it was fortunate for him because I believe they didn't fight on pit road. They had a little bit of the confrontation, but if he would have actually wrecked Kyle Busch, it would have been a big fight.
Yeah, that'd been a big fine, maybe.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see, to say the least. But
yeah, if you're gonna wreck somebody, at least make it like it's an accident. I got loose.
Oops.
But yeah, we don't want to see another driver take another one out. But yeah, anytime you get spun, you're gonna look for that payback. So
yeah, it's Definitely not fun when you get spun by somebody. You're not just gonna say, "Hey, I like the way you spun me out there." You ain't gonna be friends with them, or you're probably gonna not invite them to your basketball court anymore.
Oh,
but but yeah, that was a great race by Ricky Stenhouse. Great rebound from him. Maybe he can build on that, and which I'm not sure. I think Chicagoland's our next mile and a half, which is a day race, so we'll see how that goes. Then, of course, Kyle Busch got into a few incidents here and there. And I think that's the thing that's really hurting Kyle Busch right now. Hasn't had a win in a little while, which is normal for other drivers, but for Kyle, normally it's every other week. Hasn't had a win in a little bit. Really hungry for that fourth win of the season.
Yeah, he shows a lot of dominance, early in the season, and I ain't sure what's happening now. If the other teams are starting to step up a little more and catching up to what they are. But yeah, he definitely had some troubles. I believe he got in a wall maybe, or got close to Kurt Busch about taking him out, and so he has some lot of issues going through, but it's good to come back and rebound the third position.
Yeah, he had some issues at Kansas, and also had some issues during the All-Star race. It's just, I think the key for him is to keep it clean, not use the bumper as much as he's been using it. And also pit road issues. If he cleans that up, he's going to be very difficult to beat, because he had some amazing speed throughout that race. These little mistakes. You wouldn't think Kyle Busch would make these kind of mistakes, but he's been making them, which is very strange.
Yeah.
Because Kyle's normally that force to be reckoned with, and it seems like lately he's been, just hitting everything, hitting the wall in the All-Star race, spinning out Stenhouse. So I think if he just cleans all that up, he'll be pretty good.
Yeah, I believe sometimes his impatience sometimes maybe gets to him. He tries to, just try to do more what the car can do.
Yeah, we've seen a lot more impatience in the previous races out of these drivers with this rules package. We may see a lot of drama once it comes playoff time, because you're going to have to be very patient with these cars. If you lose momentum, it's going to take you probably a lap, or most likely 2 laps, to get fully up to speed to get that momentum back. So if you don't have patience, it's definitely going to sting you.
Yeah, Kyle, he always gets his car set up to be in clean air. And once he gets in clean air, it's really hard to beat him. It's just a matter of once he gets back in the field, trying to get through the field to get back up to the clean air.
Then we have Joey Logano, who at the beginning, he really struggled. Yeah, he had some, I guess it was really tight in the daytime, but once it turns nighttime, he was really fast.
Yeah, at one point I thought he was going to go like a lap down, but he rebounded, and he was really coming on towards the end. Couldn't quite catch Martin Truex. I believe that's kind of equaled out towards the end. It's a good rebound from early in the race. So good for the team.
Then Martin Truex Jr., after hitting the wall, I thought he was done for the day once he hit the wall. But no, he rebounded and won the race. He was just really strong in the day and the night. Just there was no beating him unless you use some pit strategy, which I believe the cautions didn't fall at the right time for that. But yeah, it was pretty interesting to see him smash into the wall and then come back and win.
Yeah, he was actually leading the race, and when he hit the wall, it's like everybody's like, "Whoa, what happened?" So they went and fixed the car back the way it should, I guess, and he was really fast, and I believe he just fit Charlotte. He always runs well at Charlotte, so yeah, it's really good for that team.
Yeah, I believe Truex could be the guy to beat for the championship this year. Originally, like I said, I thought at first it was going to be Denny Hamlin, and then it changed to Kyle Busch, and now it's Martin Truex. So maybe Eric Jones will be next. I don't know. But Joe Gibbs Racing has just a phenomenal package going for them right now. They're tough to beat, along with Team Penske. Hendrick and Haas is right there, so it's going to be a great battle for the championship this year, I believe.
Yeah. Earlier in the year, I thought Truex just really didn't show up a whole lot. I believe they called up to the rest of the Joe Gibbs teams, and he's really coming on strong here recently, and I don't know, he's just pretty tough to beat now.
Yeah, overall, I think it was a great race, especially in the daytime. I think we had a little more interesting race in the daytime than the nighttime. It kind of dulled out a little bit, which is the opposite of what I thought was going to happen. I thought once it got night, got cooler, track gets a little tighter. I thought maybe we would see, some better racing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it was the other way around.
Yeah, for stage one, it was like extremely long. I guess all the cautions, and then stage two, it was real a lot of competitive, a lot of passing. Got down to stage three. I mean, it was just it's kind of tough on stage.
Yeah,
three.
it seemed like everybody but Martin Truex Jr. had issues with getting way too tight. I thought maybe if everyone was way too tight, we'd see closer racing, but just didn't happen.
Yeah, stage three kind of got strung out a little bit. I thought it'd be more. It had a little more of that green flag look to it, like it usually does.
Yeah. Yeah, so everything I thought was going to happen just kind of flipped, so that teaches me not to make any sort of predictions for the race.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it was the best 600 that I've been to, at least in a long time.
Yeah, well, we always look forward to going to the Coca 600. We enjoy Charlotte and just like the facilities there.
Yeah, can't wait to come back in September for the Roval, which, man, it's long time away.
Yeah.
It's like we're really going to get some homesick for the racetrack.
Yeah.
I wish there was one to go to close by in the summer for us, but unfortunately there's not really any we can get to, so
may have to win some tickets or something.
Hint, hint.
Send us to the race.
Plane tickets, boat tickets, train tickets, whatever we need. Send them our way. No, we just really enjoy going to the racetrack. I know it puts our schedule all over the place sometimes, but it's really fun being there, listening to the radios and all that. There's just no other feeling that describes being at a racetrack.
Yeah, if you've never been to a racetrack, I would definitely go. Just the atmosphere, the people around you. It's just the hearing the motors. You get the scanners and you get to hear the drivers talk, and it's just adds so much excitement to it. You get so much more out of it than just watching on TV. So I really enjoy it.
Yeah, there's some things you can watch on TV. It's like, what happened? But if you go there in person, you know exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And also, of course, you can go on your phone on Twitter and figure out exactly what happened anyway. But being at the racetrack is definitely a step above everyone else.
Yeah, it's just the traffic's an issue, but other than that, that's fine.
Yeah. Fix your traffic, Charlotte.
No, they do a good job of getting everybody, down the road and out of the way. So
Yeah.
And plus it's so cool because a lot of times after the races, we'll sit out there in the parking lot and wait for the haulers to go out just to watch them. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really nice to get to be there and see all that happen. But thank you all for watching. I know it's 2 days away or two days late. So for those of you watching, thank you for being so understanding of what this past week has been. Just wanted to be with the family. If you watched yesterday's video, you'd know what exactly happened. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you for our Fast Picks for Pocono on Friday.